So I'd like to share something with you tonight that I think is very fascinating. You know, when we speak about Judaism, it's interesting that to call Judaism a religion is the wrong term. We're not a religion. I don't know what a religion is, but we're not that. We happen to be a nation, and we're a nation that was given a Torah. And the Torah is really the means through which we can have a relationship with Hashem. That's what it is. If I were to define Judaism in one word, I would call it a relationship. It's the means to have a relationship with the Creator of the universe. The word religion sounds kind of hollow and kind of old-fashioned compared to the word relationship. Judaism is a relationship. It's the means through which we can have the perfect relationship with our Creator and the Creator of the universe. And who doesn't want that? And the whole Torah is really about establishing that relationship. That's really what it is. All of the mitzvahs are vehicles to connect ourselves more deeply to the source. In fact, the word mitzvah in Hebrew comes from the Hebrew word sevet, which means a connection. A mitzvah doesn't mean a commandment, as we often translate it. Mitzvah actually means connection. In Hebrew, the word sevet means a team, people who are joined together. So a mitzvah, really, we have 613 points of connection to God. Points of establishing and building that relationship. Now, what I think is fascinating, when Hashem revealed himself to the entire Jewish nation, we know he did so in a way that the entire people witnessed him and saw him. And at that point, he gave us what we call the Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 Commandments, or the 10 statements, the Aseret HaDibrot. Now, these 10 Commandments were, in some ways, God is giving us, Hashem was giving us, perhaps the 10 most important principles that we need to know. And our sages teach us that the 10 Commandments really, in some ways, are the root directory for the entire 613 mitzvot. From these 10, you can derive all 613. Apparently, you could derive all 10 from the first 2. You could derive the first 2 from the first 1. You could derive the first 1 from the first word. You get the first word from the first letter. The 10 Commandments bring you back to the source of it all. So the 10 Commandments are actually the source of the entire Torah. These 10 Commandments. Now, I'm going to suggest something to you tonight. And my suggestion is like this. If the purpose of Judaism is to have a relationship with God, or to have relationships in general, because the truth of the matter is we're not able to relate to God unless we can relate to each other. How can I relate to a being I don't know if I can't relate to a being who I can see? You, my wife, my kids, my friends. So obviously Judaism is about having a relationship, whether it be between people and God. You need both. But if that's the goal, to get a relationship, to create relationships, I'm going to suggest something tonight, and that is that the 10 Commandments must be the vehicle to establish that relationship. These are the most important 10 principles God's going to give us. Why? Because these 10 principles are the principles of what we need to create the perfect relationship. So I dare say, if we analyze the 10 Commandments well, which we're going to do tonight, and if you stay with me and you follow the train of thought, you're going to see something very interesting. The 10 Commandments are really going to unlock the secret of what relationships require. And that's what God is giving us. So let's take a look.